everyone. How are you? How are you? This is the Taryn Lamb Show, season number 8, episode 11. This is actually a pop-up show. Most of you know I take a break for the summer, but this is a pop-up show right now because we have a special guest coming on for a special pop-up episode. So before we get started, just a few housekeeping things. This is the Taryn Lamb Show, season 8, episode 11, a special pop-up show. And we are here back in the fall. So we're back in the fall officially, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on IG Live. We're also on Apple Podcasts at the Taryn Lamb Show and on YouTube at I Am Taryn Lamb. So please make sure you are liking, following, sharing, subscribing on all those networks or platforms or whatever they're called nowadays. And I just truly, truly appreciate it. If you have a story, I would love to have you here on the show. I would love to have you here on the show. This show started off during COVID. Is basically, I used to live in Los Angeles, and I realized that there's a lot of people I used to see that had stories. Got a chance to see a lot of people in Los Angeles and living in LA that had their stories out there. And what I realized is I have a lot of people around me. We all have a story. If you are listening, you have a story. And so what this is just about positivity. It's about love. It's about sharing your story. Everybody has a story. No story is too big. No story is too small. And believe it or not, we are going into 3 years of this show. And each and every episode, I just interview someone about their story, about their obstacle, about their challenges, about their life. Because the thing is, we all have a story and we all can connect with someone and we all can learn from someone. So if you have a story, I would love to have you on the show. Again, we're starting back off in the fall. So I'd love to have you in the fall or even in 2024 on the show. If you know someone who has a story, please just let me know. Hook it up. If you're listening, you can DM me. If you know me personally, you can send me a message. Just connect whoever that is and I will give them a call and I will have them on the show. It's just a great opportunity to just share stories, positivity, love. No story is too big, no story is too small. Everyone has a story and I would love to have you on the show. Again, you can also listen on Apple Podcasts at the Taryn Lamb Show and on YouTube at I Am Taryn Lamb. So I'd love to have you on the show. So let me get our guest in here, Miss London. Miss London, let me get you, girl. Okay. Okay, so when she comes on, guys, she is just a bubbly personality. Like, I love her to pieces. Like, we just met through another friend of mine, and every time I talk to her, she just gives me positive vibes. So I'm so here for it. London, did that go through? Let me see, did it go through for you? I'm inviting you in. Did it go through? I don't see your face. I hear you see you saying I'm here, but I need to see your face. Where's your face, girlfriend? Did it go through? It keeps saying invite. Is it not catching on? Tell me. Somebody tell me. Somebody tell it. So London, if you don't see it, try to say, can you join my live? See if that works. Because I'm requesting you in. I'm totally requesting you in. And it's saying you're unable to join. I don't know why. I don't know why. So maybe try to request to be in mine. Try to see if that works. If you can say, can I be in Taryn Lamb's live? Because maybe that will work. And are both of these profiles, I know we follow each other, but are both of them public? Because it may not let you on if both of these profiles are not public. So we are going to wait here and we're going to get London on for sure. Absolutely. She's going to come on at some point during tonight, even if we have to wait all night, but we're hoping we don't. But if you have a story, and thank you so much for those who are joining, by the way. if you have a story, I would love to have you here on the show. Again, no story is too big. No story is too small. It's just the thing. Everyone has a story. Everyone has an obstacle that they've overcame. Everyone has a journey. And I would love to hear from you. And so would others. And a lot of people listen to this later. A lot of people listen to it on the podcast form. And so the thing is, it's just about learning from everybody and keeping, you know, all this positivity going, right? There's so much going on in the world today. We just want to keep it positive, keep it uplifting. But with that said, when you come on and tell your story, you know, I've had people cry, I've had people curse, I've had people drink, I've had people do all sorts of things on the show. So, and I'm not CBS, so I cannot cut it out. Everybody's going to see you cry, drink, or curse, whatever your thing is. Okay, so wonder why it is not letting you join. I don't know. Okay, are you coming? Maybe she's coming back on because I don't see her now even being able to. London, let's see. Maybe she's going to come back on. Kelly, are you on? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Let me know. I'm trying to, or Kenny, you can see me and you can hear me, right? So I'm trying to figure out how to get London back on. I don't know where she went. Maybe she'll come back on. Yeah, you can see me and you can hear me. So maybe London, hopefully London will come back on. Kenny, can I try to see if you can come on live? Can we do, I know, I would say Kelly, but I know Kelly's going to say, no, girl. I can hear her say, no, girl, I can't get on. No, I'm not going to want to get on. So, Kenny, can we test you and to see if you can come on? Oh, she may be having technical difficulties. Yeah, I'm just making sure it's not me. Let's see. Let me see if I can, yeah, if I can. Kenny, can you come on? It's here, but it won't allow me to connect. Okay, so yeah, you can come on. I don't know what the deal is. All right, hi, babe.
Hey, what's up?
Nothing. Okay, so that's a good question. The real Adina Howard. That's a good question. Do you need to update the app? So maybe you need to update the app, London. But you know what? You go live, so I'm very confused. Kenny, can you do me a favor? Can you make sure my profile is public? It should be.
How can I?
Can you?
I don't know.
That's a good question. I think it is because, yeah, it'll have. I think up at the top it has like a little lock or something. Does it have a little lock?
I don't.
I'm pretty sure mine is. Or you are? It is. It is. You know what it is? Because people that are on the show right now are. I don't follow them and they don't follow me, so that must mean it's public.
While you're waiting, you should probably like tilt your camera down and like, yeah, there you go. And then if you get a chance, like turn on that light on the ceiling, like just hit the power button. It's back there by the picture that's hanging on the wall.
Well, I have to get up then.
Yeah, that's okay.
Let me see. I forgot how to turn it on.
It's a power button on the right hand side.
I don't know where that is.
It's only a few buttons up there.
Oh yeah, there it is.
There you go.
Okay.
And then turn on the little yellow light that's right there too, up under the the one on the floor. Turn on the like.
Oh yeah.
Turn that one on, and then turn on the little floor lamp. Like you
okay,
got.
Let me see if I can get her back on. I'll turn that back on too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then spin your chair around so it's blocking the light.
Okay.
Like.
Yeah, I got it.
There you go. You got it. Now you look even better than you did before.
All right. Love you. Bye. Okay. So we're trying to wait for my guest. I don't know. What's up, guys? How are you doing? What's up, Kenny? This is my show. Who is that? Corey? Corey, this is my show. I'm doing great. Kenny's doing great too. I'm doing great. Kenny's doing wonderful. But we love you and thank you so much for joining the show. London. Okay, let's try this again. London, is that you? Are you there? Kelly, this is my show. Hi, Taryn. Hi, T. London, what's going on? What's going on, girlfriend? I might have to redo this again. There you are!
Hello.
What was happening?
So the MacBook Pro does not like going live, and so I had to go live on my telephone. So I am
here. I'm glad did you see all that craziness we were doing?
I saw a little bit of it, but I was trying to go get online for you. I was like, oh
no. How are you?
I'm great. I'm getting everything set up for us. I had everything set up, technology we're great now.
We
so
are
I am doing
here,
amazing.
No worries. Did you have a good day?
I did. I had an amazing masterclass.
Yeah.
Yes. I was getting prepped for this.
That. So you guys, okay, so we'll get started. This is my adorable new friend, London. Oh my gosh. Like I was saying, you and Kel, every time I talk to you guys just both like light up the telephone and light up my day because both of you guys are so bubbly and fun. So I love it.
Awesome.
So I want to know a few things. So you can talk about whatever part you want. You can talk about your photography, or you can talk about conversations with London, depending on what you want to talk about first. But I feel like what you told me the other day is one of them led to the other.
Yeah.
And I just think, you have really just been an inspiration since I first met you, of just being able to put yourself out there and do it, and you stay positive along the way, right? So tell us whichever one you want to start with, but how did it start, and then how did it flow into the other, and how did you get that inspiration, and how do you get the positivity, just keep it up, because you're just so positive at all times. So tell us a little bit about how you got started.
That is a work in progress. But
we all are.
Ultimately, right, we're a work in progress, but it started with London Howard Photography. I've been doing photography for more than 20 years, first as a hobby, then moving into from serious hobby to a career. And it started during COVID, like with your podcast and your IG lives, and really just trying to find out, get that footing. Like I want the freedom. And right before COVID, I was ready to decompress and really go full-time on photography. And there's a pause, so from the pause, it was like, okay, nope, I'm not going to take the leap right now. I'm not an essential worker. And there was no more photography jobs that are available that were going to be sustainable for what I did. And I do sports photography.
Okay.
So sports photography, corporate photography, hit shots, branding, along with portraits. And once that was, I took a step back, reassess, okay, is this really what I want to live my life doing, and have the opportunity of, not having work, and how do I make myself sustainable? So I ended up 3 years during the COVID and pandemic, I applied myself and decided to go for my brokerage license. When that didn't pan out, I was like, okay, that's okay. I'm still going to commit to my corporate life and build up my photography back. So full speed ahead. April 7th was Good Friday. And, after, I always say, it was the mindset. My mindset was always, I wanted to be my own boss. I always wanted to go into entrepreneurship. I wanted to build my company, and I felt that it was a sense of that I was gratification, that I was able to, there's pride in it. I was able to use my hands and make beauty in my portraits. And I was like, I felt purpose, you know. So
did you, how long have you been doing photography?
more than 20 years.
And
more than
how
20. I
did
went to
you
school
know?
for it.
So you've known for a long time that that's where your heart is.
Yes, yes.
And then
yeah.
you just wanted to kind of, you've kind of, you just kind of wanted to make it whole, right? Make your personal and professional life, if you
Exactly.
will.
Exactly.
Okay.
My motto, I always love to say, I bring life's treasures into focus. And that's what I've been living by. I'm like, okay, if loved ones can treasure the images that I'm sharing with them, and then it touches right here, and I'm like, oh, I feel that there's purpose in what I'm doing, and it was just a blessing. So I knew I wanted to do that full time. You know, it's that, you know, once you realize that you have a gift, you want to share it, and that's what I wanted to do, and I wanted to pursue that full time, and I was gonna, by any means necessary, and that is really at that point building my business back up after 3 years of, you know, the clientele decreasing by more than 50%. I was like, oh, you know, I'm gonna have to build myself.
Well, so how did you get, so guys, this is the Taryn Lamb Show, season 8, episode 11. We have a pop-up show with London, and we're talking about her building back up her photography business. So don't forget, if you have a story, I'd love to have you on the show. But how did you get the courage, London, to like take this leap, right? Like, you've been doing it for a long time. COVID hit, and a lot of things, like you said, might have been slow, might have been fast. How did you get that courage to take the leap? I mean, I think that's always an interesting thing, because there's this tipping point that sends us over to say, you know what, I'm ready to take this leap, and I'm ready to do this, to share it even more than I have been. So where did that come from, that like moment? Or do you remember that moment where you're like, you know what, it's time?
It's time. I've been talking about it so long. I was talking about it. My family was like, yeah, she was talking about it. But I was talking about it so long. And I was like, you know, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And they're like, well, when are you going to do it, London? When are you going to do it?
Yeah.
But surrounding yourself with encouraging family and friends that have nothing
like
but
Kelly.
Good intent for you. Like Kelly, yes.
And if you're on, by the way, you have any questions for London, please put them in the chat. Please.
Yeah.
Or comments.
I think we froze a little bit. We freeze. All right. All right. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
It will blur. There you are.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So I surrounded myself with family and friends. I think we're a little bit delayed. I hope everybody can still see me. It says.
Let's see. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And then I just knew. I think there's like a little bit of delay.
Yeah, you're going in and out now. You went back to a little blurry. There you are. Okay. So you just knew it was time.
It was time. You know, working in corporate brokerage, like advisors, and we facilitate trades and move money all day. And there was a caller that was quite stressful. And I said, I don't have to take this.
Oh,
I don't need this.
Wow. Okay.
And that was a tipping point where I knew. I was like, yeah, it's time. It's time, because when you feel that it takes you out of character, or there's no longer a sense of help in that position, I knew I wanted to be my own boss. I knew I wanted to make my own decisions.
I like that you said that it takes you out of character. I like that, because I always tell myself, even in corporate, I need to be myself. And when stuff like that starts to take, I like the words you use, take you out of character. You know, when stuff takes you out of character, you're like, no, I got to get back. I got to get balanced back in myself, and I got to align myself back to London and to Taryn and to whoever else, right? Like, I got to get back into character. I like those words. Now, what were some of the obstacles? I know some of you are getting hearts on that. I like that. Got to get you back into character. I like that. What were some of the obstacles? Because we know it's not all, you know, roses, right? Like, what were some of the obstacles that you either have faced or continue to face with just, again, making that leap and, you know, trying to just build business, build community? Because I think one thing you do through your pictures and the ones I've seen, and to your point of, you said something about taking treasures in the moments. And I think that's building community, right? It's building community amongst either families or just amongst the people that you touch. So what were some of the obstacles that you've had along the way? And then tell us a little bit about, now how you're building those amazing communities among families.
Yeah. One obstacle is that I find that a lot of entrepreneurs do as of right now is it takes money to make money, right? So you're going to be, for me, visibility, marketing, presence is key to let them know that you're out there. So you're going to be spending money to show presence. And I like to do a nice balloon presence and letting coaches and parents know that, hey, I'm here, whether it's gas or energy, you're out there before you make any money. And the obstacle is, if you don't have the finances to do that, it's going to come out of the personal reserve before it comes out of the business sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So it's really finding out, prioritizing what's important to that marketing strategy and committing to it. I think, being consistent and perseverance is key to anyone's success in business. If you're consistent with it, and then you don't, people will get a little lazy, right? We get a little relaxed. We're like, oh, I can take a week off.
A little comfy.
Yeah, get a little comfy.
Someone's asking, do you have tools you use to help you on your journey?
Tools that I use.
Do you mean what kind of tools? Is that maybe what kind of tools are you thinking about? But do you have anything specific that you use?
Well, and then there's twofold. So I will go into the mental health aspect, and then I'll go into tool I use for my LLC. So it's more so taking time to ground, center, and balance, really trying to meditate, stay spiritually connected to source energy, to my creator, to my God. I happen to also do a guided meditation at sunrise. So I'm Lady Sunshine LV. So if you happen to follow that profile, that's where I'm taking time to really center myself and then ready to tackle face everyone else, right? So I always say you have to fill your cup up before you give of yourself. And that's spiritually, that's where I surround myself with, with our divine. Yeah. Then from there, it goes into tools I use in my everyday life.
They're saying apps. Any specific apps?
Yeah. So then the apps as well, I use Honeybook. So that's my CRM. Photoshop. I use Photoshop. I use Video Leap. So anytime you see me do videos, I like Video Leap, which is an app that you can incorporate for yourself. PicCollage. And I absolutely love my new one, which is ChatGPT, which is a game changer. So if you are in any type of aspiring entrepreneur or creator, if you're finding lost for words, talking to ChatGPT, it will do subtitles, it will do hashtags. And so I have been
ChatGPT?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I've been talking about that on my masterclass, and and then it morphed into conversations with London, where I wanted to tell everybody about my journey, and ChatGPT has been at the forefront of the conversation, because when you're ready to take the leap and you're like, okay, I want to pitch a new idea, I want to really find out what are the top sources of, whether it's photography, whether it's art, whether it's any type of platform to showcase your talent, that are artificial intelligence apps. So whether it's Nova AI, I think it's AI Nova.
Okay.
Adina can share if it's Nova AI, but it is the resources that are out there. They're artificial intelligence. The AIs that you're able to, they're able to put everything in a nice, pretty package.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It takes with your thought process, and it will allow you to do elevator pitches.
Oh,
right?
Okay. I'm just talking about that with someone else, the elevator pitches. That's interesting. Yeah. Okay. So I might have to check that out, because I would like to create some multiple ones actually, but
that's use Lightroom. There's so many, but those are the main ones that I use.
Okay. Yeah. So any more questions, please put them in the chat. We talked about some apps. We talked about some obstacles. So tell us a little bit about how your photography has now led you into conversation with London.
There's an entire story, and I'll make it brief for you. There was an opportunity that an IG, we always see the ads going up. So there was an ad that said, become a speaker, woman speak and grow rich. It was actually one of the seminars I saw, and I was like, you know what? I need to strengthen my public speaking skills, and I can incorporate it in photography. And then the passion of being a transformational speaker and being able to touch multiple people, whether it's friends and family, and that's really, it was friends and family, and then the clients will come when they see the value, but really speaking my truth and letting them know if I can do it, you can do it too. You know, it was 3 easy steps, and I say 3 easy steps, which is mindset, having, you know, setting your mind on whatever your passion is, wherever your drive is, wherever you want to go, whatever you want to do. It takes the first step with that. Then setting goals. You have to have smart, attainable goals. We all know that we've been in corporate America, and if not in corporate America, there's goals that can be set and then readdressed and set again, but really being able to make attainable, smart goals. And then taking the action, right? Just take action. You have to move forward and do it. And even though it may be scary, you have to do it. Because as always, if it's not you, then who? You're going to be doing what, you know, if I would have been sitting in my seat for another 5 years, and I was like, well, that's 5 years I can actually put in my own company. So I was so happy to take the leap. I'm not looking back. I'm moving forward. I'm getting stronger and stronger with every master class. It was my 6th one that I did. I'll be flying to Atlanta tomorrow.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes. So
and I like to. I really like if it's not you, then who?
Yeah.
Because that's so true, right? If it's not you that's going to do this, then who?
Yeah. So I'm going to be around like-minded women doing the same thing. And that's where the conversation with London came from. I was like, let's have this conversation.
Yeah.
How do we open this up? How do we get our, you know, if my voice can resonate with you, then let me talk to you. Yeah. If it's not me, then find your motivational coach. But I am always here right now on Tuesdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. in Pacific Standard Time, doing conversations with London, drawing in like-minded, aspiring entrepreneurs, and just individuals with passion, men and women alike. And it's been a nice roller coaster. Some days I had, you know, up to 5 to 0 people that I'm talking to myself, but still going through the process because I'm getting stronger with each master class. Yeah. And I'm here with you, so this is a blessing, and I am so excited.
I totally get it. Like, I totally get it, because I started this thing. I mean, like I said, I literally started on a whim. It was during COVID, and I had originally thought that this was going to be called Just Like You, Everyday People, Amazing Stories. It's going to be a magazine. And I had this whole business plan, this magazine, London. I made it all up. And again, I was living in LA, living in Beverly Hills at the time. And boom, the magazine went. No one even does magazines anymore. I put that business plan in a box and it never came out. And then I was home and my husband was like, why don't you interview people on IG Live? And I was like, what's IG Live? And then, hey, Jay-Z, what's IG Live? And then I started doing this, and in 3 years I've been connecting people like this. 3 years now. What I can empathize or sympathize or whatever the word is, connect with you on, is sometimes I'm like, you know what, there's 10 people, sometimes there's 7 people, sometimes there's 5 people. But what happens more often than not, oddly enough, I will get like a text message or a DM or something later that says, oh my gosh, I love that person. So people are listening in other platforms in other ways at different times. Someone asked, hey, Stephanie, Tony asked, who inspires you?
Great question. Obviously, my inspiration comes from like-minded individuals. I get inspired by, there's so many, between family and friends that inspire me. Me being able to push myself. I always say I look towards myself and challenge myself. I get inspired by being around women and men that are progressive, very motivating. There's transformational speakers. You know, music inspires me. If something inspires, it's like, oh my goodness, that resonated. Yeah. So it resonates with me. That inspires me to keep going and moving forward.
I think the like-minded, I think that is, you know, that's just, and I think it's good. It's either, even not necessarily like-minded, but then also people who don't think like me, you know, inspire me too, because they're like, oh man, this is another way to kind of look at this, and another point of view, or whatever they're saying, POV nowadays. You know, I think that's inspirational too, because I can draw from that and say, maybe I should think about things this way, right?
I like that.
I think that's true. I've learned that just because, you know, I think there's so many different ways to go about things. And as like I said, taking advice, even for this show, I mean, one of the biggest things the advice I had was sometimes just to take a break. I mean, I did this for 2 years without a break. And then I decided, oh my gosh, I've got to, you know what I mean? Like take moments for myself. And I didn't want to, because I was like, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to come back? Am I going to have the motivation? But then I just keep meeting people like yourself. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great. Like, how can I continue with it? Right. So, I mean, just hearing people say it's okay to take a break and it's okay to come back. Because I was, you know, I'm a one-man band doing it all, but I've just totally enthralled with all the people I've met along the way. I mean, just amazing people and amazing stories. And again, like, I don't even remember even Kelly telling me, oh my gosh, I got to get my cousin on the show. I got to get my cousin on the show. So like, I truly appreciate, you know, you and your time. What other things would you like people to know about either of the businesses? We're at 8 o'clock, guys, so I usually end at 8, but we were trying to get London on here because her, what you call it, MacBook was not cooperating. So we're gonna go over a little bit. So if you have any questions or comments, please make sure you put them in the comments section. This is the Tara and Lamb Show, season 8, episode 11, and I would love to have you on the show. We are here Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and 5:30 for my Pacific Coast friends. This is the pop-up show today, so we won't be here next Tuesday. We're going to start again. I think we might have one more pop-up show before September. I'm not really sure yet, but we're definitely going to come back in September. But I need people to come back in September, so I'd love to have you on the show. If you're listening, just DM me. Anything else you'd like people to know about either of the two, or yourself, or what's next for you? Either of the two.
Absolutely.
Can you share, even if you can share?
Since I can absolutely share, this is like all encompassed all together. I am continuing building my business, London Heart Photography. So you have to go to that platform. I'm continuing growing. My clients are coming. And with the conversation with London, I'm actually going to release a book. So the book that's going to be released. That's exciting. Yes, it is. I'm excited. I gave myself a 3-month time span. It was a challenge, and it will be ready in September. So I'm looking, yes. Well, it's been 3 months. And the beauty about this is my master classes, and I've done 6 of them for 2 hours straight, has the content that I need. And it's all there for me to really put it into Word and really take a little deeper dive into it and share. But I'm ready, and I think time's of the essence. Yeah. You know, I talk about diminishing intent. You strike when the iron's hot. Yeah. So if it's more chances is if the feeling is strong, you're going to act on it. The longer you wait, the most likely you're not going to take any action. So I really want to, while I'm motivated, I'm feeling this is the wave. We have to take this. I'm taking the wave. So
if not you, then who?
If not who, then who? If not me, then who? Yes. Someone else.
So really quickly, so someone is asking, we talked about this a little bit earlier, but just to reiterate, what made you take the jump to your new journey?
It was, I talked about taking being out of character, taking you out of your place of peace. And once I realized that I'm not finding any peace in this position, in this seat after 11 years, it was time. It was time, and I just knew like I knew. And then on Good Friday, which is April 7, 2023, I was like, I'm releasing this. And that was my last day. And I haven't looked back. I look back like, oh, there it is. But, you know,
bye.
It was a home office. Bye. Like,
bye. Bye.
But there's no longer holding that carrot of health insurance and, you know, you're going to need us. There's so many things that we feel like we're handcuffed to. But once we realize we can bet on ourselves and we can do it and be sustainable, then you have to do it. And I had to do it. I had to do it.
Well, I want to thank everyone for joining. So if you were listening, I would love to have you on the show. I've seen a few, Sherry. Hi, Sherry. How are you? I'd love to have you on the show. So Kelly, I've been trying to get Kelly on the show for 3 years, literally, legit. She's always got some sort of, I don't know why. So we're going to have to somehow just invite in or something. I don't know how we can get Kelly on the show. Kelly, why haven't you been on the show? I've been asking you for 3 years, girl. If you're listening, I would love to have you on the show. Please DM me, or if you are in contact with Kelly, Adina, anybody on this show, they all, those girls have my cell phone. I'd love to just have you on the show. We are here 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's only half an hour. And I just love positivity and love, and I love hearing people's stories. And we're definitely going to have Miss London back on, because I always do a Where Are They Now episode a little later to check back in to see what's up. So again, guys, this is the Taryn Lamb Show. We went a little over today. Thank you for your patience. London was getting on. Her MacBook was not cooperating.
It was not cooperating.
It was not given the give. Life was lifing. So, London, I truly appreciate your time. I'm going to call you just as soon as I get off here. And I truly appreciate all you're doing. And meeting you was just such a blessing. Thank you, Kelly, for the intro. And Kelly knows she's a big blessing to me, even though I'm never, ever going to forget that bike ride. So
that bike ride.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one. So you guys, we will see you back here the next time. Again, it's not going to be next week. This is the pop-up show. But if you, I'd love to have you on the show. This is the Taryn Lamb Show. Please be good to yourself and each other. Until next time. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye now.